So a video recently dropped of Representative Jamaal Bowman in a heated shouting match with Representative Thomas Massie off the House floor over gun control. This conversation is about 2 minutes long, and I think it's worth us digging into today. But before we do, you guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, thank you for being here. Before we get started, make sure you join the locals community. We have over 500 members over there right now getting exclusive content. You can chat with me over there, all this great stuff. We have a lot more benefits dropping in the locals community, and it's free. Go sign up. Takes a few seconds. Go join the 500 plus people. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, take your support to the next level, you can donate as little as $5 a month to support my channel, support us going out there, making more videos, changing more minds. That's just $5 a month. Please consider that. We're on the road to getting 50 monthly supporters. And then we have well over 500 just people in the community. So go check that out. jamesklug.locals.com, link in description below. So we have a tweet here from Emily Brooks. And Emily ended up tweeting out this video. Emily Brooks is from, where is Emily Brooks from? Reporter at The Hill. She says, Representative Jamaal Bowman and Rep. Thomas Massie just got in something of a shouting match off the House floor over gun control. Let's go ahead and check out this video.
Children at all, cowards, pressure them, force them to respond to the question, why the hell won't you do anything to save America's children? And let them explain that all the way up until Election Day on 2024. Let them explain it all the way up to Election Day on 2024.
How about you explain what would protect children? How about you explain that? These people have no plan. They have no policy. They're proposing literally nothing other than just the laziest argument of let's ban a certain type of gun.
They're freaking cowards. They're gutless. They're not here. I'm talking about gun violence.
You know, there's never been
I'm talking about gun violence.
in a school that allows teachers to carry.
Carry guns?
That's a good point. It's true. There has never been a school shooting at a school that allows teachers to carry. There are multiple schools in Texas and Florida that are doing this, and these are the safest schools in the country today.
More guns lead to more death. More guns lead to more death. Look at
He is losing it right here. More guns. Look at how Massie is holding himself in this conversation. A calm, trying to make his argument, make his point, asking if he'll co-sponsor a bill, literally proposing something, proposing fixing the issue and actually tackling the issue. Talking about school shootings here, tackling the issue, doing something about it. Notice who's calm. Notice who is willing to have the conversation in this exchange right here.
lead to more death. Look at the data. You're not looking at any data. You're carrying the water for the gun lobby. Look at the data. More guns lead to more deaths. Guns, states that have open carry laws have more death. States that have open carry laws have more death.
Totally unhinged, not even willing to have a conversation. But isn't this just so typical, right? Getting completely, these are policymakers, right? It's okay to get emotional here and there, but these are policymakers, right? You do not make good policy when you can't even have a conversation without just completely freaking out. He can't even hear what Massie is saying right here. He can't even hear it because he's so just emotionally driven, emotionally charged in this conversation. But this is typical stuff. They're not willing to listen to the facts. They're not willing to listen to the conversation. It is shout over this person and I'm going to win this debate. He makes it, Jamaal brings up 2 points right here. He's saying that more guns means more death. If that were the case, the United States owns more guns per capita than any other country on the face of the earth. No, we are not even close to the top number of homicides per capita in the world. Not even close. Okay. He also mentions states that have open carry have more or more guns have more deaths, that have open carry have more deaths. The truth is, what the game that the left likes to play often is they like to point at certain states and say, look, this state has a lot of guns, this state has a lot of murders in this state. Well, the truth is, the overwhelming majority of these murders, actually, no, I'm sorry, every single one of these states have the majority of their murders in their Democrat cities, with very liberal DAs that allow criminals to get back on the street. at a certain point, you got to ask if they're just doing this stuff on purpose, right? These liberal DAs get into these liberal cities, allow criminals to roam around. Homicides are through the roof. The rest of these states are not just everyone shooting each other left and right. If his argument was accurate, it would mean that every single suburb in the United States would be a total bloodbath, but it's not the case. It is not the case. All of these red states have blue cities that are off the rails when it comes to crime. Anyways, let's continue watching the video.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? Calm down, children are dying. 9-year-old children. Because the solution is not arming teachers. Have you ever worked in a school? Have you ever worked in a school? Have you ever...
He's bringing this up because it is actually working. Now, a common sense solution is protecting our schools like we protect our jewelry stores. The left is unwilling to have this conversation. Why is that? That's an important question to ask yourself. Why on earth do they not want to protect children in schools? Why is that? Because everyone knows. I mean, you have to be an emotionally driven voter to believe for a second that banning a semi-auto rifle would get rid of school shootings. You don't need a semi-auto rifle to take out a 9-year-old. You don't. So to pretend that this would even make a slight difference is just completely absurd. Again, I've said this multiple times. The biggest school shooting in U.S. history was with 2 pistols, Virginia Tech. So these people are lying when they're pushing to just take away your guns, law-abiding citizens, banning your guns. That's the goal. That's what they want. They don't actually want to fix the problem. And they know that won't fix the problem. What Massey is proposing here is something that will actually fix the problem, or at least do a good bit to work towards that goal. There's no perfect solution here. There is no perfect solution. Evil people will exist. Homicidal maniacs will exist. But you can do your very best to protect children in our schools. It's actually, I'm not going to use the word comical, but it is insane to me that we send $130+ billion to Ukraine. We fight all these other wars, but the war that we're unwilling to have, the focus that we're unwilling to have is on our own people. Is a conversation, a national conversation about protecting our own children. This is a real conversation. What Massey is proposing is a real conversation. It's not the end-all be-all, but it's certainly better than a guy just losing his crap, shouting, saying, we just need to take away some guns. That's not going to do anything. That won't do anything. Let's move on.
Have you ever worked in a school? Have you ever worked in a school? Listen, yes or no question. Have you ever worked in a school? You will not answer my question. Don't stop and talk to me. Okay, I'll bring it down a notch.
All right, folks.
Have you ever worked in the school?
I've got a bill to repeal the
I
federal...
worked in the school for 20 years.
You're just screaming.
It is that argument from authority, right? He wants him to say no. In what way does you working at a school make you understand gun policy? Explain that. You know, when it comes to what Massey's proposing, allowing teachers to get trained if they so choose. What he's proposing is not mandatory, teachers carrying firearms. Teachers go through serious training if they so choose, if they want to be protected, if they want to be a part of, I believe they go through like somewhat of a sheriff's program. At least that's how they do it in Florida. And they become some sort of like deputy in some way. I have to, look into that a little bit more. But at those schools, there hasn't been a mass shooting. Why? Because evil people like to go for easy targets. The school shooter in Nashville, Tennessee, decided not to go with a certain school. She was looking at 2 different schools, decided not to go to a certain school because there were too many threats on her life. They had too much security. So she went to the school with none. This is common sense stuff.
I was a teacher. I was screaming before you came and interrupted me. I worked in the school for 20 years. I worked in the school 20 years.
In every school,
I was a teacher. I was a
to
school counselor. I was a middle school principal. I was in cafeterias.
Wow, thank you for your service. This guy's screaming like a child.
Protecting kids every day of my career.
There's never
Clown.
been a shooting.
Clown, you
Never
can't
been
even
a
answer yes or
shooting.
no question.
It's time.
Ask
Look,
them.
we've got
Why
guns
don't they
here to
ask the
protect us.
legislation? Why? Ask the
And we
question.
believe the
Ask
kids
it
should
right
have
now.
somebody
Make
to
your answer.
protect them. Every school that's allowed it has never had a shooting. Not even.
Mic drop. Absolute mic drop. Look at these guys, comfortable with their armed security surrounding them, and he's fighting against that for America's youth.
Been an accidental discharge at any of the schools. So.
Anyways, you guys, that is the video right there. There's just a little bit of stuff that you can't really hear the audio on the rest of it because it's obviously taken on a cell phone. But that's the video right there. And how bad did Jamaal Bowman look in that? But this is just a typical conversation. You know what? I actually want them to do more of this stuff. I really like seeing them engaging and debating off the House floor even. I think it's phenomenal because you can really see who's willing to have the conversations. Bowman was not willing to have a conversation there. That was a screaming match. Have you ever worked in a school? That's the only argument he had. He has these cheap little points, but isn't willing to go in depth on any of them. They talk about how states that have more guns have more crime. Well, that's because of the blue cities within the states that are literally riddled with crime because the DAs allow all these violent criminals back on the streets. It's almost like they do this stuff on purpose, but I'm going to point something out really quick. And I know I kind of brushed on this already, but there is no reason at all that anybody should be against security on schools, an armed officer on schools, allowing teachers that are competent, if they would like, to conceal, not open carry, concealed carry, and become, get their training and protect children at our schools. It's about time that we actually do something about this. And a lot of Republicans, including Thomas Massie right here, who's trying to get this pushed through, because in these schools in Texas and Florida, where teachers are allowed to get that training and allowed to conceal carry on campus to protect our children, there hasn't been a school shooting because a school shooter would be out of their minds to go to a school with a bunch of armed teachers and armed officers on campus. It's a straight up suicide. They go for easy targets. The only reason why you would fight against this is because you want more of it. I'm sorry. The only reason why you would fight against arming people on campuses, having armed officers on campus, hardening schools, the only reason why you would argue against that is because you don't really mind it happening again. They are proposing banning rifles when that would do literally nothing. The left wants a boogeyman, and giving in and working with Republicans on hardening schools, on getting armed officers on every single school campus, on allowing teachers in some districts to get training to protect children, that will actually have an impact. And they do not want that. They don't want that. They need the anti-gun boogeyman. They need guns to be the boogeyman. They need the anti-gun vote. They need to rally people up and get them angry to get out there and vote Democrat. That is more beneficial. That is more beneficial to Democrats than actually doing something about it. Anyways, we're going to go on to some responses. We have Joe Kent right here. Congressman guarded by armed security throws a fit after Massie recommends guarding our children with armed security. Massie is correct. That's why he's not screaming. Well said. You'll notice this when it comes to the gun debate. Obviously, it's a very emotionally charged debate, but people with emotional arguments and not actually willing to have good conversations will start screaming because in their eyes, the louder they are, the more they can grandstand and show that they care, when really everything that they're proposing is just completely empty. Tim Pool says, the acts of criminals does not warrant suspension of my rights. Have a nice day. That's exactly right. Some psychopath gets a hold of a firearm and kills people. That does not nullify your right to self-defense. What an awful, awful argument that they make when it comes to that. Oh, you're gonna lose your rights because some psycho did something psycho. Okay, how about we reduce risks of psychos doing something psycho? How about we protect children and not just have them sitting around like sheep How about we actually do something about that? There is a reason why mass shooters do not go to heavily armed schools. There's a reason for it. Lastly, we'll finish with Jeff Charles, agent of chaos. This exchange perfectly encapsulates the gun debate. Anti-gunners yell, but their arguments have little substance. I was literally just saying that. They can't explain how the laws they propose would actually save lives. They can't explain that because they wouldn't save lives. Pro-gun rights folks can articulate why the proposed restrictions don't work and why allowing good people to be armed saves lives. Very well said, Mr. Jeff. You guys, let me know what you think about this exchange between Bowman and Massey. Also, let me know what you think about this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that bell notification button so you're notified next time I post. And I will catch you in the next video.